Guys, I am feeling the prep. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another vlog. As you can see, this is a different video style compared to the previous one because I want to keep things fresh, I want to keep things different. So for today, I'm doing my vlogs at home on a rest day. It is currently about 8:30 p.m. on a Wednesday evening, which is usually my rest day. And I have decided to make the video go in the following order. So first, I'm going to be talking about updates on what has been happening over the last 6 weeks. I have quite the story for you. I'm going to be talking about changes in my diet, my cardio, my training. I'm also going to be talking about how I feel so far in terms of my mental state and things I've decided to do in order to focus a lot more on my prep. Then I'm going to go into a question portion of the video where I'm going to be answering one question, and that is how long you should diet for when you are prepping for a bodybuilding show, whether you're in classic bodybuilding, men's physique, bikini, wellness, whatever it is. And lastly, I'm going to be talking about something that is really important, something I feel like you should be at, mentally speaking and emotionally speaking, before you decide to embark on a journey like this. Okay, so as you know, we are currently 6 weeks out. This means that the previous video I did was 6 weeks ago. Can you freaking imagine it? It's already been 6 weeks. I feel like I've just done the 12-week out video last week and it's already 6 weeks out. So before I talk about the different stats, I'm going to be talking about what exactly transpired over the last 6 weeks. As you know, we have been prepping for the Thai Pro qualifiers, which will be happening on the 18th of November. However, about a few weeks ago, the Pro League in Thailand came up with an official letter apologizing to all the international athletes. They claimed that there was a miscommunication between the official IFBB Pro League and the Thailand division, and as such, the information that the show was only for local athletes was not communicated to everybody. It was originally communicated to us that it is open internationally, but it wasn't the case, and they gave us an official letter saying that they're going to refund us all the ticket pricings and whatnot. So bummer, right? Told my coach about it, and we decided to switch up to the Taiwan show, which will happen 1 week after the supposed Thailand show, which I am still going for. That will happen between the 25th and the 27th. Then, about a week later, the Thai division came back with an email saying, hey guys, we've managed to talk to the organizers of the show and we've decided to make the show an international one. So now the show is open to all athletes, no matter where you're from. Please come back. That's what they're basically saying, right? I am not a big fan of what they did, but fortunately for me and a couple of athletes under my coach, we decided to, as I mentioned, go to Taiwan instead of Thailand before the decision for the Thailand show to be reinstated was communicated to us. Threw us off a little bit, but other than that, the official update is that I will be competing in both the Thailand and Taiwan shows. My goal this time around, I pray so much, is that I would at least place really high in my division. I have not registered for the Taiwan show yet because the registration is not up, but in Thailand, I will be competing in 3 categories. So the novice, the juniors, and the opens category. So the juniors will be for people, I think, more between 18 to 23 years old or 16 to 23. I forgot what was the minimum age, but you get my point. I'm basically at the top end of the group in terms of age. My only wish, right, realistically speaking, is to place really high, or possibly I win my category, right? That is really the goal this time around, because that will confirm to me that I have the potential to become much better and eventually reach my target of getting my pro card and and beyond. That being said, I have two chances for that to happen. That will be Thailand and Taiwan. That is the update in terms of the show. This Saturday will be 5 weeks out. My next video will come out when we are 4 weeks out. So that is really quick. And 4 weeks out onwards, I will be uploading every single week, so do stay tuned. So let's move on to my current stats. So this morning when I woke up, I was 88.9 kilos. The lowest I have been in my previous cut, which was about 20 plus weeks ago, was 84.1. That was the lowest I've ever been, right? And I am assuming that I will be competing at 85 or slightly underneath that. I did ask my sister to help me do a skin fold test, a 7-side skin fold test, and I am at 7.02% body fat, according to the calculator. And the goal is to compete under 5% body fat, which means that I am really close. Obviously, with every percent that I go down from here on out, it's gonna be a lot of changes, right? But the measurements say 7%, but I would say I'm more so at about 8, maybe even 8.5% body fat, around there. I wouldn't say I'm like 7% body fat. Then again, I'm being pessimistic, right? I did say that, given my physique, I thought I was like 10% body fat, but when I measured it was 7, right? It is going to be a lot harder to burn off that last bit of fat, especially in my glutes. Although my glutes are not being assessed in men's physique, but it is a good indication of whether I'm lean or not. So the glutes and my love handles, so the lower belly area. The real deal comes when the lower body fat gets out of the way. That's when you know you're truly stage ready. In case you forgot, over here is my diet 12 weeks out, according to my previous video, when I took you through my day. So right now I'm going to tell you exactly what has changed. So just do the comparison to the diet plan 12 weeks out. I have it all written down here. I'm just going to read it out to you. So now, meal number 1, I am measuring out 85 grams of raw oats before cooking, 1 apple, 8 egg whites, and 2 yolks. You already see a difference there, right? Second meal, 100 grams of sweet potato, 180 grams of chicken breast. You're going to try and keep protein really high. Reason being, we're trying to maintain as much muscle as possible, and also there is a higher thermogenic effect of consuming protein. So yeah, it's not really significant, but hey, if you can just improve your fat burning process by just 1%, why wouldn't you take it, right? Third meal, which is a pre-workout meal, 300 grams of rice cooked weight, 1 banana, and 180 grams of chicken breast. Fourth meal, my post-workout meal, 300 grams of cooked rice and 180 grams of chicken breast. A lot of protein, as I mentioned. Meal number 5, 180 grams of lean beef. That's it. No carbs. And meal number 6, 250 grams of raw weight measured salmon. No other fat sources, no carbs. And this is on training days, 5 days a week. On my rest days, I am removing carbs from my pre, intra, and post-workout meals. 12 weeks out, I still have intra-workout carbs, but now I don't, right? And so there's already significantly less carbs. And so on my rest days, everything is the same except for meal 3 and meal 4, I have totally no carbs. And I calculated it out. On my rest days, I am consuming 90 grams of carbs. Now, some of you might say, oh, it's still a lot of carbs. Yeah, I get it. We're 6 weeks out. It's gonna get worse from here, right? That is the difference in my diet, right? And oh yeah, forgot to mention the duration of my cardio. 12 weeks out, I was doing like 30 or 35 minutes of cardio. I can't really remember. But right now, I am doing a very special blend of cardio. So on my training days, I will be doing 45 minutes of cardio fasted, like first thing in the morning before eating anything. 15 minutes post-workout. I am doing an hour of cardio total every single day. I'm burning at about 1000 calories per day. In terms of my mental and emotional well-being and physically, how do I feel? Generally speaking, I still do feel alright. I am feeling a tad bit more tired, but other than that, still feel pretty good. In fact, I'm in a much better space emotionally and mentally than I was for my prep for the photo shoot, which happened earlier this year. So I had a photo shoot back in the end of April. So I'm gonna put a photo right there. That was when I hit an all-time low of 84.1, and I'm not very sure what my body fat percentage was there, but as you can see, that was me. And at that point of time, I was already feeling crappy 6 weeks out. I think the main difference is that I kept up with my cardio in the off season. So when I got back into the off season after my photo shoot, I kept up with 30 minutes of cardio 5 times a week. Going into prep, it was a lot easier for me to adapt to it because I've been doing it for so long. It's not really much of a difference, right? The only difference now is that food's getting lower, and it might be a little bit hard to push, but in the morning, fasted cardio, down my Roalsine with a little bit of caffeine. Hey, a potent combination. Okay, so today is my rest day, Wednesday. I didn't do it fasted, right? Because I have morning classes. It starts at 8:15, and I decided that it would be much more beneficial if I, stayed at home and rest a little bit longer than to like force the fasted cardio. But on Sunday I have more time, so I do it fasted. I'm telling you, last Sunday I actually felt it for the very first time. That shitty feeling you get on prep. By the end of the hour, I just couldn't move for a half an hour. I changed, I had my first meal, I just sat in the chair, I was like, oh, I can't move, right? It was pretty shitty. But anyway, that was the first time. But after that, the rest of the days I actually feel pretty alright, so maybe that was an outlier. As we already know, we are under 6 weeks out, and I am eventually gonna get more fatigued physically, and mentally I might be weaker. For some of you guys who have been on prep before, you might know that you might get a little irritable, and it might affect the people around you. On top of that, I do see a couple of potential competitors that will be showing up in Thailand and Taiwan, and it kind of like demoralized me a little bit. So I figured that Instagram, social media is not really healthy for me in a sense. Sometimes it does serve as an inspiration, but oftentimes it does get to me because I am giving my 100% every single day, but sometimes I feel like maybe it's not enough, and that is not the mindset I should be adopting, not this close to the show, right? Because the last thing I'm gonna do is just give up. So veer off Instagram, at least for now, but I will be updating you guys every time I make a video, so you guys can just go ahead and check it out. So do keep an eye out for my Instagram stories, my Instagram posts, right? Those are the only times I'm gonna be posting for the next few weeks until the show. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the one question in the Q&A section of this video, and that is, how long should I diet for when it comes to a competition prep? No matter which category you are, it doesn't matter. How long should you diet for when you are intending to compete? It really depends. Most people will say that, you should diet for 12 weeks. Some people will say you should diet for 16 weeks, 14 weeks, 8 weeks. Some people will say 8 weeks. Some other people will say 20 weeks, half a year. You have many different answers. So what is it exactly? It depends on where are you starting from. How deep into the off season did you go to? Are you like totally out of shape, or did you maintain relative leanness in the off season? So obviously, the fatter you are, the earlier you have to start your prep, and the leaner you are, the lesser time that you require. But still, I prefer to have sufficient time to prep for the show, so that you can take things slowly, and you're making slow, consistent progress to minimize muscle loss, because we're trying to review what's underneath, and we also allow more refeeds when needed, right? This is to restore glycogen storage, as well as reset the mind to allow us to push further for the prep. For most people, yes, the answer is about 12 weeks. But then again, I cannot stress this enough. It really, really depends on where's your starting point. So as you know, my prep has been about 12 weeks. The food really started to go down 12 weeks out. I technically started my prep 14 weeks out where my cardio increased, but food remained the same. So to me, 12 weeks out was where we started the diet phase, right? And because I maintained my cardio really well in the off season, right now 6 weeks out, and I still feel pretty damn solid, right? I'm able to maintain a nice conversation with you guys. I'm able to go about my day with energy, and I'm getting leaner every single day, which is freaking fantastic. Another thing that people do question is, am I allowed to have cheat meals on my prep? Now, some of you immediately will say, oh no, it's a prep. You shouldn't have any cheat meals, no cheat meals at all. And technically for me, yes, I do not have any cheat meals and I'm totally okay with it. But for some people who compete just for the experience of it, maybe they want to step on stage one time, it gets to a point in their diet and their training that they start to miss food, right? They miss the taste of regular outside food. And then they ask, is a cheat meal okay? Now, this is a reason why I say it is best to start a prep as early as possible. Yeah, when it comes to cheat meals, you've got to earn it. You really, really have to earn it. You gotta ask yourself, am I lean enough? And am I ahead of schedule? Most importantly, am I ahead of schedule? Because if you're not, and if you are just following such a strict timeline to the point where, I'm gonna meet the body fat requirement by the last week, you do not have any room for a cheat meal. No. I did mention about the question, am I lean enough? Now, some of you will say that, yes, I am lean enough. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but chances are you are not lean enough. Most people think they are leaner than they actually are. The only thing I can say is that however lean you think you are, add about 5% to that. Some of you might even need to add 10% to the figure that you give yourself. Really, really depends on how skewed your vision is, because trust me, I could do a simple 7-side skin fold test on you and it's going to show that you are 5 to 10% off your current estimate. So for us competitors, if you think you're lean enough, chances are you are not. If you go onto stage beach ready, trust me, you will be embarrassed. You will absolutely be trashed unless the rest of your competition sucks as well, which in that case, I mean, even if you won that show, was it really worth it? But if you're competing against other people who have been dieting hard for 3 to 4 months and you step on stage beach ready, chances are you are going to be hugely embarrassed. I've had that experience before. My very first time competing back in 2017. I was conditioned, but when I saw the reality of the competition, I was taken aback and I immediately wanted to go home. And that's where I got to work. If say you are 6 weeks out and you are 8% body fat and you're seeing abs, amazing striations, fantastic, you are not lean enough. Trust me, you are not lean enough. Because the safe body fat percentage that you should be dropping every single week is about 0.5% of your body fat per week. Now, you are 6 weeks out and you're 8% body fat. That leaves you with 3%, right? So assuming that you are consistent in your fat burning, which oftentimes is not the case, you are going to just hit your target nicely when the show arrives. Just nice. This is not accounting for things that might happen in your life that might throw you off, right? You never know. You just never know what's going to happen. Chances are you think you are leaner than you actually are. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to end it off with one more thing which I thought of as I was driving back home today. Some people, they come up to me, they ask me, how long have you been training for? I tell them I started playing around with weights when I was 15 years old. That was back in 2014 after my surgery, my very first right arm surgery. They say, wow, you've been doing it consistently since 2014. How do you stay so consistent? What drives you? What's your motivation? I just love what I do. Simple. that love is not just a feeling like motivation. It's not something where I just feel excited in the moment, I just go all out for it, and then when I don't feel like it, I just lay back, take it back a notch. My love for the sport is in a sense that I will show up every single time, regardless of how difficult the journey gets. It is the same with every single thing in your life that you decided to pursue. Whether it's a job, whether it's a lover, your parents, your siblings, no matter how difficult it gets, you're always gonna stand by their side, or you're gonna commit your entire life to it, no matter how hard it gets. Because you love it, you sincerely love it, you want to see that thing or person flourish. So you give it your best no matter what happens. And that is the kind of love that I have for sport. So no matter what hell I have to go through, I'm willing to do it. As Greg Doucette famously said, if you don't feel like climbing Mount Everest, don't climb Mount Everest, because going up a mountain for 3 weeks in the freezing cold interests me zero. So I am not gonna do that. But being a personal trainer, I absolutely love it. Being a competitive bodybuilder, I sincerely love it from the bottom of my heart. Posing, everything about competing, I love. I love the process. I love seeing my conditioning change every single week. I love the hustle and the grind, of pushing myself beyond the boundaries. I love posing. I especially love posing. I love just presenting what I have in the most artistic way possible, because bodybuilding is an art. The main message I'm trying to give to you is that you have to fall in love with the process. Most people are so caught up with, achieving the end goal. You decide one day that, oh, I'm gonna get rich. Oh, I'm gonna get this physique. Oh, I'm gonna make this change into my life. And so you decide to embark on this journey, which is fantastic. We all start with a dream. Then, as we are going along in the journey, we think, when am I gonna get it? Am I there yet? Am I there yet? Am I there yet? Oh my god, I've been putting so much effort for the past 2 weeks. Am I there yet? Am I there yet? We are all so obsessed with trying to get the end result. We forget to fall in love with the process. You see, the difference between successful and unsuccessful people in whatever you do is falling in love with the process. Because unsuccessful people are the ones that are focused too much on the end goal. Yes, you can remind yourself of why you're doing all of this, especially in dark times. But if you're always obsessed about the end goal, chances are you are going to be disappointed because you're not there yet, and you're going to give up. Successful people, on the other hand, we understand that the end goal will come. It is a side effect of our hustle, of our grind. But we do this because we love it. An entrepreneur does what he does because he falls in love with the process of solving people's problems. He's not trying to generate the revenue. That's not his main goal. Obviously, a business is, you're trying to make money, but a successful businessman is successful because he falls in love with the process. He falls in love with providing value to his customers. And that is the place that you have to be at, especially if you are deciding to compete. Because if you're competing for the sake of it, for the experience of it, yes, sure, it is a great experience, and I believe that everyone who gets into bodybuilding should compete at least one time in their life. But if you really want to compete, you have to ask yourself, am I just looking for the end goal? Am I doing this because I absolutely love the process? I love pushing myself in the gym. I love doing the cardio. I love seeing the changes that come in every single week. Now, I'm not just looking for that $5 plastic trophy. I actually love what I'm doing. Are you in that place? That is the most important thing. Because if you don't fall in love with the journey, it's going to be easy to fall off the rails. Trust me. I've seen too many people give up literally weeks into it, simply because they're too stuck on the end goal. So fall in love with the process, and I assure you, the journey is going to be just that much easier, and the reward is going to be even greater in the end. So with that, we've come to the end of the video. Next video is going to be 4 weeks out. It's pretty soon. As I mentioned, Saturday is already 5 weeks out, so oh my god, we are inching close to the show. If you like what I've been doing so far, Do leave a like and comment on this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Also follow me on my Instagram for more updates when I do posts on my YouTube channel. And trust me guys, you're gonna want to keep updated because things are gonna get a hell of a lot more exciting in the next few weeks, and especially the last 2 weeks is gonna be freaking amazing. Keep updated by doing everything I just told you to do, and you guys have a good night. Peace everyone.